Welcome to Shalom Media. I'm Robert Falzon, and I'm bringing to you the Gospel of Life series. This day we are going to be doing Program 11. Program 11 is God's Prophet, Things Lost and Found. God's Prophet, Things Lost and Found. Welcome to my friends who've returned and been watching the series. Welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time. You're very welcome. I pray that these minutes that we spend together will be encouraging and life-giving, because the gospel, the good news, is life-giving. Have you ever lost anything? Have you ever lost keys or your credit card? What's that feeling? You go to your wallet, you go to pull out your credit card and it's not there. There's this sense of panic, isn't there? Oh my God, where did I leave it? What has happened? You start to search and look in all sorts of places. Did I leave it on my bedside table? Did I leave it in the lounge room? Did I leave it in the car? You go and search all these places. You begin a process of searching, looking, trying to find what's lost. Then you go, well, maybe I left it at one of the stores. You ring the stores. Maybe I left it at the service station. You ring the service station. And by process of elimination, you try to find what's lost. But the feeling of things lost captures you, doesn't it? Then you can't think of anything else. All you can think of is what's lost. And how will you find it? Well, what about that key? That key that you couldn't find. Days and days of searching, looking for the key, but not being able to find it. This feeling of things lost, searching, looking to find what's lost. This is a really important message in the gospel of life. There are a number of scriptures that talk about the lost drachma, the lost sheep, the lost son. The gospel is full of stories of things lost and then things found. I'd like to tell you some of the stories of things lost and not found or being found from the life of Robert, my story. So I'd like to tell you a couple of stories. Many years ago, very early in my marriage to Alicia, we didn't have a lot of money, and then as we started to get a little bit more successful, Alicia started to do some travel with me. And one year we traveled from Brisbane to Sydney for a business event, and during our travel I decided to take her down to a shop, and I knew she'd take her down to a shop to buy some earrings. I knew she'd like these earrings. So we went to the shop. She found these beautiful Aboriginal motif earrings, beautifully cast, gorgeously made. She put them on, they looked perfect on her, and we were going to a special industry event that evening. She had the dress, she had the shoes, she had everything, and now she's got the earrings. She was very, very happy, very happy. And then that night, getting ready for the event, she had her hair done and beautiful dress and the nice shoes and the stockings, and then she put the beautiful earrings on with her necklace, and she looked absolutely gorgeous. I was so happy to make her happy. And then it wasn't far from our hotel to the venue for the event, so we decided to walk. Not very far, just down the hill and around the corner. It was slightly raining, so we got an umbrella when we left the hotel. And we were walking down the hill, and as Alicia stepped from the footpath down to the road, she sort of jolted, and one of the earrings fell off her ear. Now these earrings are shaped in a circle and it's like a dish. Fell off her ear, landed on the road, on its edge, and then rolled down the hill in a big arc, and then back the other way in a big arc, sort of and then rolled and aimed towards the drain. And then it went straight into the drain. Plop. Straight into the water drain. Plop. And it was raining. Wow. I rushed down there to see what I could do, but when I looked into the drain, not only couldn't I lift the grate off, but it was raining. And Alicia then started to cry. Now I didn't know what to do. We'd lost her very important earrings. We'd paid a reasonable amount of money for them, and now she has no earrings to wear to the event, and we're running late, so we go to the event, and I know that she was upset all the way through the event. We came home from the event, and she went straight to bed, and I knew that she was really upset and sad. So I thought, what do I do? How do I bring some hope to this situation, some resolution? I thought to myself, well, there's only one way to find things that are lost, is to search, to look, and to search, and to look. So I went to the telephone book. I looked up the Sydney City Council, and I tried to look for a number that was a 24-hour number. I found a 24-hour number and I rang them. And somebody answered. Isn't that a miracle? Somebody answered the phone on a Saturday night at about midnight. They answered the phone and I said, here's my problem. I bought my wife some new earrings and one of them fell off, rolled down the hill and went into the drain. He says, well, there is a department that can help you for that. He gave me the number. I rang that department and somebody answered the phone. Isn't that amazing? Somebody answered the phone. I said, I've lost this earring. He said, what street? And I told him the street name. And he said, well, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. I said, well, it's already cost me. How much is it going to cost you? Well, we'll have to send a truck, 3 men, and we'll work it out. But if you give us a credit card now, we will charge it to your credit card when we know how much it's going to cost. Anyway, 2 hours later, the phone rang and the truck was there and they were at the grate that it fell into, and I got changed. I put some shoes on. Alicia's still asleep. We got changed, put some shoes on, went down to the grate. They'd pulled the grate already out, and there was a man in the pit, and he was digging all the mud out of the drain and throwing it into the street. And there was another man going through the mud with a rake and a hose to see if he could find it. They emptied the whole of the first grate, all the mud, all the sand, all the contents of the first grate, and no earring, no earring. They looked at me and said, excuse me, sir, is this the grate that the earring fell into? I said, yes, it is. I saw it myself. He says, well, we finished our job. I'm sorry, we can't help you. And I said, please, is it possible that the earring fell into the grate, and because it's raining, it may have been washed down the hill to the next grate? They all looked at me like, gosh, he's going to ask us to dig the next one out. I said, please, could you please dig the next grate out? So they went down to the next grate, pulled the grate out, started digging, shoveling out the sand, and I'm thinking to myself, oh no, it's lost, it's not going to be here. Shovel, 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 shovel. And then the guy goes, is this your earring, mate? And I go, yes, it is. It's the earring. They'd found the earring. They'd found the lost earring. And I was really happy because you know what I was going to be able to do? I was going to be able to take it back to the hotel, and in the morning I was be able to give it to Alicia. What was lost is found. This is the earring that was found in the grate. This is it here. Found in the grate. The earring, the lost earring, the earrings that we bought for Alicia, what was lost is now found. Beautiful story, and an important story in our family journey. So the story of the lost earring. I'll tell you two more stories from the life of Robert. Some years later, I had a very troubled brother. His name was Peter. And Peter was a troubled soul. And I journeyed with him for a long, long time. Eventually, Peter died. Peter died in a place called Cambodia. Unfortunate. Very, very sad. We lost our brother and our friend. Extremely sad. A life cut short. There was nothing I could do to save or find that young man from his troubles. So sometimes things that are lost are difficult to find. We all have prayed for him, and we believe that he is found now in eternity with God. The last story I'll quickly tell you about things being lost and things being found was when I got lost. Robert got lost. Last year, Alicia and I went on sabbatical. We took some time off. We went to Europe. We took a holiday. We took some pilgrimage time. We went to over 100 sacred sites, including Fatima and Lourdes and Sagrada Familia and Notre Dame and many of the beautiful, beautiful sites. We prayed in all of those sites. We had a great time. On the way to Fatima, we went to Lisbon in Portugal. And when we got to Lisbon, we parked outside the apartment that we were renting, and we contacted the landlord, and the landlord came down. We unloaded all of our belongings from the car, and then he said, "I'll take you to the car park." Now, for some reason, I thought the car park was going to be near the residence, but it wasn't. It was almost on the other side of Lisbon. So we drove for a while down the street, around the corner, over the hill, down the other side, and then we came to the parking lot, parked the car, and he said, "Just walk straight down this street, and when you get to the second piazza, then you just turn left and you'll find your apartment." So we parked the car, and then he said goodbye, and I started to walk down the street. And as I walked down the street, I'm walking, and I don't recognize anything, and I'm walking, and I go through one piazza, two piazzas, nowhere to turn left, and in the end, I got hopelessly lost. I was lost in Lisbon, in Portugal, did not know where my apartment was to get back to, so I was very lost in Lisbon. Had no idea where I was, no idea where I needed to go to, no idea where I lived, no capacity to find my way to the apartment. I was really, really lost and really, really concerned. So 1 hour went by, 2 hours went by, nearly 3 hours went by, and then I thought to myself, what can I do? So I prayed. I said, "Lord, Jesus, help me. I'm lost. I really don't know what to do." Then this thought came into my mind. I could go to McDonald's and they have free Wi-Fi. So I went to McDonald's, but that day, that McDonald's, no free Wi-Fi. It wasn't working. So I didn't know what to do. I spoke to a tour organizer and I asked him if he could help me, but he didn't understand, he didn't know, and he was busy. So there was a bar on the corner of the piazza. I went into the bar and I thought, I'll have a beer and then see what happens. Anyway, I was talking to the guy behind the bar as much as I could, and I said, he said, "What's your problem, mate? What's your problem? You got a problem?" I said, "Yeah, I do. I don't know where I live. I don't know where I live, and I don't know how to get there." So he started to help me and try and find out my dramas and my problems. We eventually got some Wi-Fi. I eventually found the address. He was able to put the address into his phone and then Google Map it, and he was able to give me directions home. 3.5 hours after leaving home, Alicia's sitting there wondering, what's happened to Robert? He's been captured by bandits, beaten up and killed, can't find him, he's lost, and now I walk in the door and I was found. This is the message that of many of the parables in the Gospels. The lost sheep, the shepherd leaves the 99 safe found ones and goes looking for the lost one. The lost drachma, the lady cleans the whole house to find her coin. And the most famous of all the parables, the most famous story in all of the New Testament, the prodigal son, the lost son. The son is lost, the father is sad, and when the father sees the son, he runs to his son, embraces him, holds him, kisses him, puts a ring on his finger, a cloak on his shoulders, sends for the servants to bring sandals. The son is restored to the family. The son is restored to his dignity. The resurrection is about restoring life and being found. The message of the gospel is this: I have come to seek out and save that which is lost. Jesus, the apostles, Mary, on the Friday, Jesus was lost to them. Jesus was dead in the tomb. He was gone. All that they hoped for, all that they believed in, all that they longed for now was gone. Gone. Dead on Friday. After they buried him, they would have gone to the place where they gathered, and they were very sad, dejected. They had lost something, the most important thing, the most exciting thing that they ever thought of. They've lost Jesus. Lost him. And how could it be this way? He was supposed to be the Messiah. He was supposed to be the one to set us free, to give us a new way, set liberty to the captives. Dejected, they tried to get some sleep. Woke on Saturday, the problem was still there. No Jesus. Jesus is lost to them. Saturday night, probably haven't eaten, tired, dejected, discouraged, defeated. Many of them wondering what to do. Some of them would have gone on their way and they were heading home. It's over. It's finished. Nothing can change anymore. Jesus is gone. He's lost. Saturday night, no time for celebrations. They were sad. They went to sleep, probably little food. They were desperate. Early in the morning on Sunday, some of the women got up and they went to the tomb. We wondered why. Why would they go? What's the point? And then, not long after, they came back and they were screaming. They were screaming. He is risen. He's not here. He is risen. Some of them thought, no, he's not risen. They've taken him away. But many of us remembered what he said. He said, on the third day, I will rise. On the third day, I will rise. John just took off, ran to the tomb. Peter followed. They came back saying, he's not there. He is risen. Mary said she saw him and heard him. The two that left to go home have come back saying they saw him on the road. Then Jesus appeared. Be not afraid. I am with you. Take courage. I'm with you. Go and I will meet you. I will meet you. So they're all now wondering, Jesus is back. He has risen. What does this mean? Rising, you restored our life. Rising, you restored our life. The very worst thing becomes the very best thing. Jesus rose from the dead and found his beloved apostles and his disciples and showed himself that he was not lost. He was not lost to death. He was not lost to the earth. He was not lost to his people. He was not lost to his apostles. He was not lost to all those that were to come after him. He was risen. Rising, he restored our life. Death was no longer the victor. Life is the victor. The gospel of life is the victory. Jesus was risen. And then he appeared to the 12, and then to the next group and 500, and eventually Jesus appeared to many, many, many people. The same message. I am with you. You will not be lost. And you know what? This is the message. This is the message from heaven to all of us. Heaven will not stand still. For those of us who are lost, heaven will not stand still. Heaven will come after us. Heaven will search for us. They will not stand still to find us, all of us lost ones, searching for us, rescuing us, finding us. How about you? I think some of us feel lost, don't we? Some of us feel lost and defeated. Some of us feel like nobody's coming for me. Some of us feel really alone. Some of us feel like we're lost, defeated. This is not true. This is not true. You will be searched for like the lost earring. You will be searched for like the lost sheep. You will be searched for like the lost coin. And you will be searched for and welcomed home like the lost son. You are highly valued to God. So, this day I ask you, here's what I'd like you to do. I would like you to try to find God. Go on a journey of God discovery and try and find God. Because in your search for God, He will find you. In your search for God, He will find you. Be found by the Lord. He's looking for you. Turn your gaze towards Him and He will find you. Let me bless you in the Restorer of life's name, the resurrected Jesus. Jesus who becomes the Messiah. Jesus who becomes the Christ of God. May the Lord who seeks you and searches for you, who has risen for you, find you. May He find you and reach out to you, and may He rescue you and find you and draw you to Himself. Bless you. Until next time, same place, same time, next week. I hope that I'll see you all again, and maybe you'll bring some friends and that we can share the gospel of life with you. Thank you. Bless you. Amen.
Shalom World brings to you the Catholic faith in all its different dimensions. It can be a faith to inspire you in your own living of your Catholic life in society. Shalom World offers you an opportunity of being enriched and strengthened in your family life. We live in a culture that needs to have a Catholic presence. We live in a culture that needs to be evangelized by the presence of Catholic teaching and the inspiration to live according to our Catholic way of life. I recommend to you to be involved in the work of Shalom World. May the Lord bless you and bless the work of Shalom World. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Shalom World, God's own channel.